How to be a minimalist with Jera Sky. What up, YouTube? It's your boy Jermaine, back with another video, and in this video I want you guys to meet Jera Sky.
Hello. Oh, I'm showing my hands right now.
And we're going to talk about minimalism today, how to become a minimalist, what minimalist is, and Jera Sky, she's a minimalist, and you have an awesome minimalist channel on YouTube.
I do.
You guys got to check out her channel, the link will be in the description below. But yeah, tell us more about you and your channel and your experience, and let's talk about minimalism.
Alright, so I would classify myself as like an extreme minimalist, you know, those minimalists that don't have like a ton of items and everything. So I'm like really extreme, and I don't think that's for everybody. I think I just set out on a different path. Like when I started doing all this, like I was definitely, I would class myself like going to be a hoarder eventually because I had so much stuff.
Really? I would never think that you would be a hoarder. But
when we moved from New Mexico to California, me and Brandon had an entire U-Haul truck full of stuff and left probably another U-Haul truck full of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so you didn't just start off as a minimalist. I thought you were just, wow.
No.
So you got a story, huh?
Yeah. I feel like it's like lots of emotional issues you have to work through to get rid of stuff. Like,
oh yeah.
So that's part of it. Like part of it is like your stuff. But I think another part of it is just realizing like what you want out of life. And like maybe people that you want out of life. It's not always, like minimalism isn't always the stuff. It's like how you want to feel, the people you want to be around, or the job you want to have. Like being very focused and specific on what you want out of life instead of just going through the motions of life and then ending up and being like, man, 10 years has gone by, like, oh, I really wish I had done this, or I really wish I had done that, and I could have been this if I had just tried. Just try. That's just starting anything. That's how you get to do it. So like, I had tons of stuff, and then I think we started narrowing stuff down after we got to California, but it was still like way too much shit. Am I allowed to curse on your channel?
Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Way too much shit, and then let's say like 3.5, maybe 4 years ago, I saw like videos about tiny houses.
Oh yeah.
And got obsessed.
Oh wow. So yeah, like, I remember that. Remember when that tiny house phase started? Wow, I think a lot of people, you know, really thought of, you know, the whole minimalistic lifestyle then. It was just shown in a way that people could easily do it, you know, and minimalist stuff like that on TV. And
yeah, I feel like, yeah, if you had seen it, it was like if you saw like YouTube videos of Japan, that's how you had seen it.
Yeah, exactly. Some other country, but
yeah,
but definitely
not the U.S.
Yeah.
Not the U.S.
And now it's like it's becoming more and more of a thing, especially with the younger generations.
Yeah.
I know so many, you know, young kids now. You know, they have everything they own could fit in 2 or 3 suitcases.
I think that's totally because like rent is like at an all-time high everywhere.
Yeah,
so,
everywhere.
And like you can't afford a house in most places. Like my mom inherited her house, so she didn't even pay for one. And I haven't inherited a house, so how am I gonna get a house?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, especially in the cities, man, like San Francisco and New York. I mean, San Francisco is a whole nother, that's a whole nother ballgame. You know, people live in closets and pay $1,000 a month in San Francisco, and they call that a good deal, you know?
Yeah. So then, after the tiny house obsession, like, it was always the goal to have enough stuff to have the tiny house. But what I didn't really realize is that the only reason I wanted the tiny house was so I could travel more. And I wanted to travel more because ultimately, like, I wanted friends all around the world. Because when you have friends different places, like, that's a lot of reason why, like, I like to travel, is because you can go and visit people that you don't get to see, and you have somewhere to stay for free. Like,
oh, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. And then on top of that, if you know people in those countries, then maybe they can take you to do some local stuff that you would never normally do as a tourist, or they can take you to different restaurants, and you have a completely different experience.
I agree, because I've been to Paris twice, and once like with Brandon, and we went to hotels, and we just did kind of touristy stuff. And then this last time I went to Paris, I went with Nonstop Paris. She let me stay at her place, and then she just showed me all this like cool stuff that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. Like there was like fire dancing at the Notre Dame at night, and I was like,
wow.
I've never seen this anywhere on the internet looking up what to do in Paris.
Oh my gosh, so you've been to Paris twice. I got you beat. I've been to Paris 3 times. But, okay, gosh, you've got me on this. So last time I was in Paris, a friend that, I met through couchsurfing, he took me to this bar, and this bar, literally, there was people in the middle of this bar, and they were taking a shower, like in the middle of the bar, and it was the craziest thing. Like it was like the hottest thing, like you're in there drinking, and there's people taking a shower, and this is something that I would never do as a tourist. Like, I mean, just going to Paris, I would never find that place, you know?
That's totally true. I feel like it's even, like I find new stuff here in LA that I'm like, wouldn't have known, like when I searched around to look at stuff to do here. So it's just like, it's also now like being minimalist, you get to travel more because now you have more money because I'm not wasting my money. Like I used to have over 2,000 DVDs.
Oh my gosh.
Like I used to like pride myself on my DVD collection. And so like, that's so, if you times that, even if on average is like $20 a DVD, that is so much money, and that is a fucking trip around the world, dude.
That is a lot of money, but we also, that was back in the day. A lot of people bought movies. Nowadays, a lot of people just don't buy movies anymore. They rent movies, or they don't have the physical copy. They don't have it in their house. They have it. Wow, I never thought about how much that would add up over a long period of time. It really adds up.
Yeah, and I just wanted to travel all that time, but here I was buying DVD. But then stuff now, I see people spend a lot of money at Starbucks. That's trips around the world, dude. Yeah. Starbucks is one that, I go to Starbucks quite often. I've been to Starbucks like 3 times today, but I don't usually get coffee. Like the first time I got like an iced coffee. The second time I got a banana with water, which was only $1. That's a little different, though.
The second time I got a bagel,
$1.50. Like an $8, $10 coffee.
Oh no!
Like adding all that stuff in. Like there are people that do that all the time here.
Oh yeah, I know.
Ooh, man.
That's expensive. If I spend $8 at Starbucks, it's gonna be for a salad, like a vegan salad at that, not a coffee, like not a cup of coffee, like no way. But but I know a lot of people do that at Starbucks, But you can go to Starbucks and get cheap things on the menu too.
There totally is cheap things. That's what's crazy is people just.
You can get black coffee, or you can get tea. You can go really basic.
You can literally just go and ask for a cup of water and bring your own tea bag, and they'll do it for you. And you can sometimes you just get it for free. So you can make your own tea. It costs you like 20 cents.
Yeah. 20 cents, yo. How do you like 20 cents versus $6, $5, or $6, $4, $7, whatever it is. Now, I know I'm kind of a minimalist, but at the same time, like, it's a little tough for me to be a minimalist because I have so much, like, video gear, and I have to travel with all sorts of things. But do you have any tips for people who want to slowly become minimalists?
Sure.
You want to go from having a house full of stuff, 2 TVs, 3 computers, 5 couches, hundreds and hundreds of dishes, 100 pairs of shoes, thousands of forks, how do you go from having all of this stuff to just simplifying your life and just having less things? Like,
this first thing is like the goal. Setting yourself some sort of goal of like, well, I want to go to, say, Japan by the end of the year. Like setting yourself something realistic, and then start looking at the stuff in your apartment. It's all money. We have Craigslist. It is all money. You might have your trip just sitting there in your living room and just like sell that, sell that, sell that, sell that. That's like one way to do it. Or if you don't want to sell your stuff, you're still not quite there. Like for a while, me and Brandon totally did this. I would pick up stuff I found off free on the street, and then sell that on Craigslist.
Oh, I still do that.
And put that towards travel monies. But then also sometimes I would find like a better suited furniture, so it would replace, like if I brought something in, I would get rid of 2 things. Or when you start doing this, like if you're not sure if you want to get rid of stuff, put some of the stuff that you think maybe I could live without this. I'm not using this very often. Put it in a closet or just off to the side somewhere where you're not using it, and let a week go by. If you don't touch it, you don't need it.
Ooh, that's a really good one there. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put it away. If you don't touch it, meaning that you're not thinking about it, you probably don't need it.
Yeah. So you could even do you can do it like super extreme. Because you remember why you moved into that apartment? Because you're like, fuck, this place is big. This is awesome. I want to live here.
Mm-hmm.
So like, push everything out into one of the other rooms and set up that room how you would like it to look. Because you forget why you paid for it. Now you're all this stuff is taking up space, it's taking up your retail space, but it ain't paying rent, man. So like, you gotta think, you're like, hey man, you pay rent this month? If you're not helping me make money, you don't need to be here.
Yeah, you gotta start shipping stuff out, man.
Yeah,
If it's not an asset, you gotta go. You know, we're gonna sell you. Yeah.
You look at and another thing I have that I found that people, like, if you have a hard time figuring out how to get rid of stuff, is sit in a room, one of your rooms, and add up the price of everything that you have in the room and see how expensive that room is.
Ooh.
And then you'll start thinking about the stuff that you bring into your house because you're adding to the total of that room.
Oh, wow. That's a really good way to look at it. That's a really good way to look at it. You know, like, especially if you got a bunch of video games and, you know, you got a bunch of, you know, I know people in my hometown, they literally will buy a new, like, couch and a new sofa and a new bedroom set, you know, the bed, the dresser. They will replace those every couple years. And it's not because it's old, it's because it's just a thing to do. Like, I got a new leather couch, you know, or I got a new...
Stop buying leather!
Yeah, stop buying leather, you know? Or we're vegans, yo. I mean, stop buying leather. Or, you know, they got a new coffee table, or they got a new, you know, big screen TV. You know, and it's like you just got a new couch for what, really no reason. Like, it wasn't like it was an old couch. You just wanted a new one. Like, gosh, that could be a trip around the world right there, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good idea to go in a room and look and see how much stuff is. And
because that's what you're trading. That stuff you're trading, like, a future of a life you want to live. So you have to, you're like, do I want to be miserable with this thing? Or do I want to hang out over here in this other country, making friends, having people to visit, and actually living a life? Or do I just want to hang out with my couch? No contest.
Yeah, no contest. And another thing about being minimalist is also your cars, okay? No, I know I have a lot of subscribers on my channel. They may live at home with their parents. And, you know, maybe you're the type that you want to get a new car every year. Well, guys, that could be very expensive. Like, you could be losing so much money, you know, just, you know, getting a new car every year, every 2 years. Like, that's another way you can lose a lot of money, and that could be another trip right there, and just buying a new car. So if you can try to drive an older car that's paid off versus, you know, getting a new car and getting a loan, and now you're paying more on insurance, you know, you might want to look at that.
You also have to think, you're taking a major risk. Say you buy a new car. If you live in Los Angeles, I have had 2 cars destroyed while they were parked, and I was not in them, and like did not get my money's worth out of insurance from it. So you're taking a major gamble with all that money, because you could have a car totaled and it still not be paid off, and you're still responsible to pay for it.
Yeah, like it's a $25,000 car, and you know, you owe $25,000 on the car, you know, because of the interest and all that. And now the car is not worth, you know, $25,000. It's worth a little bit less, maybe $20,000 or $22,000 or $23,000, and then the car gets totaled. You know, like it could be a mess. You know,
putting a lot of trust into strangers.
Yeah.
People forget about. Oh, I wanted to say one more thing about, because you were talking about like minimalism and having to have all this stuff for like what your job is, and I think that's definitely an aspect, is that don't get caught up in, oh, I have to have a bunch of stuff for my job. That's awesome. That's your focus. That's what you do. You use that stuff all the time. Fucking yes. Then that just means in other areas of your life, say you don't have as much kitchen stuff or whatever, because you have this stuff. This is the focus of my life. This is the focus of my happiness.
Or in my case, I don't own any kitchen stuff, you know, like nothing.
Even better. See, then that's why you have more other stuff.
Yeah.
So like everybody, if you watch minimalists, you can't necessarily do everything they do because you have a different life. Everybody is different, and like you have different interests, different likes. You make money differently, so figure out what they do, and then find ways to apply it to your life that isn't just copying them. Don't just copy people. Do your own version of you, your minimalist version, because everybody's different, and you can fucking make a very different minimalist lifestyle.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's very well said. That's very well said. Yeah, I think, let's wrap this video up, guys. I just wanted to bring on Jera Sky and thought we would talk about minimalism because I've noticed a couple comments. People have wanted me to make videos talking about minimalism. But I just didn't really want to make a video talking about minimalism. I wanted to, do a collab with someone else to talk about minimalism. But definitely go over and check out Jera's channel. The link will be in the description below, or it'll be up above here. Check it out. And thanks a lot for watching.
Thank you. And then don't forget to check out my channel. I can answer all your questions. You have more questions. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks. Awesome. Peace out.